Welcome to the BuzzFlix, bringing you the latest news from around the world. In a stunning turn, Beijing has accepted a sweeping proposal from Taipei to deepen economic and cultural ties. Announced on July 30, 2025, this marks the most significant diplomatic shift in the Taiwan Strait in over 75 years. Both sides are signaling cautious optimism and a shared desire for peace. Financial markets surged, reflecting hope but also uncertainty about what comes next. On the streets, reactions range from hope to skepticism. For the first time in decades, there's a real chance for change. At its heart, the agreement is a framework for dialogue, not a final settlement. The sovereignty dispute remains unresolved, but both sides are focusing on practical cooperation. Economic integration and cultural exchange are the main pillars, aiming to build trust and reduce the risk of conflict. China's acceptance is a major surprise, as it sets aside the one China precondition for now. This pragmatic move allows engagement without forcing either side to compromise on core political positions. The timing is remarkable, coming after years of military tension and aggressive rhetoric. Analysts believe internal economic pressures and shifting geopolitics may have driven Beijing's change in strategy. For Taiwan, this is a chance to secure economic stability and international space through proactive diplomacy. For China, it's an opportunity to reshape its image and focus on economic growth. The agreement signals a willingness to lower tensions and explore new paths. It's more than a trade deal, it's a political statement. The world is watching to see if this fragile framework can withstand decades of mistrust. Can economic and cultural ties really change the trajectory of this historic rivalry? The next steps will test the strength of this new approach. Only time will tell if dialogue can succeed where confrontation has failed. To grasp today's breakthrough, we must revisit the history dividing China and Taiwan. The split began with the Chinese Civil War, ending in 1949 when the Communists took the mainland and the KMT retreated to Taiwan. Both sides claimed to be the legitimate government of all China, fueling decades of hostility. The US initially recognized Taiwan, but shifted to Beijing in the 1970s, isolating Taipei diplomatically. Taiwan, meanwhile, transformed into a vibrant democracy, fostering a distinct Taiwanese identity. Younger generations increasingly see themselves as Taiwanese, not Chinese, complicating relations further. Beijing has alternated between economic incentives and military threats to influence Taiwan. Missile tests, military drills, and constant threats have kept the region on edge. Periods of engagement have brought economic growth, but political tensions always lurked beneath. The Taiwan Strait has remained one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints. This long, fraught history is the backdrop for today's unexpected agreement. Understanding these roots is key to appreciating the risks and hopes of the current moment. The past shapes every step forward. Can this new approach finally break the cycle? The proposal, though not fully public, centers on three pillars: economic partnership, cultural exchange, and risk reduction. A joint economic council will target trade barriers and investment, focusing on sectors like semiconductors and green energy. The aim is deep integration, not just more trade. Cultural and educational exchanges will expand, including tourism and large-scale student programs. Joint cultural projects, films, exhibitions, conferences, are designed to build mutual understanding. The third pillar is risk reduction, restoring communication hotlines and pre-notifying military exercises to prevent accidents. This isn't disarmament, but a practical step to lower the risk of conflict. The proposal avoids the sovereignty issue, focusing on areas of shared interest. It's a pragmatic invitation to set aside political disputes and work together. By building trust through cooperation, both sides hope to create a new reality. The bet economic and cultural ties can reshape the relationship. This blueprint opens a door that's been closed for generations. Whether it leads to lasting peace depends on what happens next. The world is watching this experiment in pragmatic diplomacy. Why did Beijing accept Taiwan's proposal now? China faces mounting economic challenges, property crises, unemployment, and slowing growth. A conflict would devastate China's economy and global supply chains. Internationally, China's aggressive stance has pushed neighbors closer to the US, forming a stronger coalition against Beijing. Accepting the proposal lets China appear reasonable, easing diplomatic pressure and improving its image. Domestically, constant tension is costly and diverts resources from urgent issues. A détente with Taiwan allows Beijing to refocus on its economic agenda and placate internal critics. The old strategy of threats wasn't working. Taiwan's resolve only grew. By pivoting to economic integration and soft power, China hopes to gain influence more subtly. This is a strategic shift from confrontation to engagement. It's a calculated move to pursue long-term goals through new means. The world will be watching to see if this pivot endures. The world responded swiftly to the Beijing-Taipei announcement. The US welcomed reduced tensions but reaffirmed its commitments to Taiwan's security. Washington supports dialogue but remains wary of China's intentions. Japan, deeply invested in regional stability, expressed cautious optimism and urged continued trust building. The European Union praised the move, seeing it as a win for global stability and trade. European businesses, especially in tech, are relieved by the reduced risk of disruption. South Korea and Australia echoed support, while Southeast Asian nations see hope for regional calm. The ASEAN bloc, long worried about instability, welcomes the chance for peace. Yet, skepticism remains. Many wonder if China's shift is genuine or tactical. The world hopes for peace, but trust in Beijing's long-term intentions is limited. Global players will watch closely for signs of real change. The stakes are high for the entire Indo-Pacific. This agreement could reshape the region, or simply buy time. The future of China-Taiwan relations is wide open. In the best case, economic and cultural ties deepen, making conflict unthinkable and building lasting peace. More likely is managed competition, reduced military tension, increased cooperation, but unresolved sovereignty. Both sides maneuver for advantage, but within a framework of dialogue. There's also a risk the agreement is a tactical move by Beijing, using economic integration to increase leverage over Taiwan. If dependency grows, China could renew unification demands from a stronger position. Another danger, the deal collapses due to hardliners or political shifts, reigniting tensions. A failed agreement could make the situation even more volatile. The path forward is uncertain and fraught with challenges. Success will require political will, careful diplomacy, and some luck. The world is watching to see which scenario unfolds. The stakes could not be higher. The numbers tell the story. China and Taiwan already trade over $300 billion annually, with deep economic ties. Taiwanese investment in China has created millions of jobs. This agreement could boost trade by 20 to 30% in 5 years. Key sectors, semiconductors and electric vehicles, stand to benefit most. Militarily, the deal has already reduced Chinese flights near Taiwan to zero, easing daily tensions. Risk reduction hotlines, if implemented, could institutionalize this calm. Politically, the impact is harder to measure. Most Taiwanese still support the status quo, but public opinion will be crucial as the agreement unfolds. The deal's success will be measured in trade, investment, military activity, and shifting public sentiment. This is more than symbolism. It's a pivot toward cooperation. The stakes are enormous for both sides and the global order. The next chapter will be written in data, not just words. We stand at a historic crossroads. The Beijing-Taipei Agreement has replaced the threat of war with a chance for cooperation. The benefits could be immense: prosperity, stability, and peace. But deep grievances and unresolved sovereignty remain. Trust is fragile, and powerful forces on both sides may resist change. The world's support and vigilance will shape what comes next. This is a test of whether economic and cultural ties can bridge decades of mistrust. Can prosperity pave a lasting path to peace? Or will old disputes resurface, derailing hope? The answer will define the future of the Indo-Pacific, and perhaps the world. The question is open. The choice is ours.